שלושה דברים העולם עומד על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים יא אליי יא אליי
Good evening, Shabbat Shalom, Bruchim Habayim, Bruchot Habaot. Welcome to all who are here in the sanctuary and to those of you watching from home. I had the most fantastic experience of planning a service that I have ever had, I think. I had the video from last week on YouTube from Shir LaShabbat playing. And did that get me into the mood of thinking again about a service? It was amazing. If you haven't had the opportunity to watch it, it is on YouTube from last Saturday morning, and it's like fantastic sound. So we'll light the candles.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
So, I'm Ruth Livingston, and it's my honor and pleasure to be leading the service this evening with David Vamos. Always a pleasure to lead a service with David Vamos. On page 124, and perhaps you'll join me for the intermittent lines. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of the synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. Shabbat HaMalkah on page 128.
החמה בראש האילנות נסתלקה, בואו ונצא לקראת שבת המלכה. הנה היא יורדת הקדושה הברוכה, ועם המלאכים צבא שלום ומנוחה. בואי בואי המלכה, בואי בואי הכלה. שלום עליכם מלאכי השלום, שלום עליכם מלאכי השלום.
We welcome the Shabbat Queen with this beautiful melody by Joey Weisenberg, Lecha Dodi, page 139.
Tonight we'll be doing verses 8 and 9. When we arrive at the final verse, Boi v'shalom, please stand if you're able and face the door to welcome the Shabbat Queen. Yamin ושמאל תפרוצי ואת אדוני תעצי על יד איש בן פרצי ונשמחה ונגילה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה יאללה לילה לילה יאללה לילה לילה Boi v'shalom ateret bala גם ברינה ובצהלה תוך אמוני ים סגולה בואי מלכה בואי כלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה בני שבת נקבלה.
With Shalom Aleichem on page 142, we welcome the Shabbat angels who will accompany us home after this evening's service.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלאכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
We've reached the part in our service where we chant the Chatzi Kaddish, our marker for moving into the central part of our service. If it is your custom to rise, please feel free to do so.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה,
Amen.
אלמד יברך חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה בעגלה ובזמן קריב בימרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי לקודשה בריחו להילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמה וימרו אמן.
If you are able, I'll ask you to rise for the call to prayer.
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Baruchu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach, hamevorach. לעולם ועד, המבורך, המבורך, לעולם ועד.
On page 151, you may be seated for now. At the bottom of the page, Torah is what God has revealed to us and what we discern of God, ideas and ideals, laws and mitzvot, our religious heritage. It unfolds our memories of Abraham and Sarah, of Moses, Miriam, and the prophets. It is legislation and explanation, allowing questions that challenge, answers that inspire all, a quest for meaning. It is our way of life, a path for our souls, and the design for a better world. Ahavat Olam on page 150.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל, עמך אהבת, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבי קומנו, נשיח כוחך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו באורך ימינו, ובהן נגי יומם ולילה, נגי יום ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה, אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
If you are able, I invite you to rise for our core statement of faith, the Shema, followed by the Ve'ahavta, which reminds us to follow the commandments by putting a mezuzah on our doors. That way, we are reminded each time we enter or leave our homes of the commandments, as well for many of us on each room in the house. on page 152.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam
You may be
Vahed.
seated. The V'ahavta is on page 154.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושוכבך וקומך, וקשרתם להות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
This next piece is one of David's beautiful compositions. It reminds us of the miracle of the parting of the Sea of Reeds, which allowed our ancestors to cross to the safety of the Promised Land. Michamoch is on page 158.
מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקעם לפני משה ומרים, זה לי אנו
Please turn to page 281. And I'll invite you to read the inset, the lines that are pushed in, indented, there's the word. For the good in us, which calls us to a better life, we give thanks. For the strength to improve the world with our hearts and our hands, we offer praise. For the desire in us which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful. For life and nature, harmony and beauty, for the hope of tomorrow, all praise to the source of. Hashkivenu is on page 160.
Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, L'shalom, Ve'amidenu, Shomreinu, L'chaim, Ufros aleinu, Sukat shlomecha, V'takneinu b'tzah tova, milfanecha, Ve'hoshienu, למען שמך. ברוך אתה, אדוני, הפורס סוכת שלום, עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ועל ירושלים.
Vishamru is our covenant of Shabbat, and I'll invite all of you to join with David in singing it. Page 162.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם, ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני בין השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת, שבת ויהי נפש.
Please rise for our standing prayer, which praises God and shows our heritage through our forefathers and mothers. It begins on page 164 and continues till 170.
Adonai sifatai tiftach, ufi agita hilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם ארונה, מחיה כל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל נכלכל חיים בחסד, נחיי הכל ברחבים רבים, צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, מקיים אמונתו נשני עפר, מחמוך מלגורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני לחיי הכל. הקדוש ושמך הקדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך הסלע, ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
You may be seated. On page 173, and please join me for this one. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Ritze. Oh. Page 174. Shalom Rav is our prayer for peace. We pause following it for a moment of silence, during which we can add our own personal prayers for peace. It's found on page 178. So after the silent meditation, we'll come back in with Oseh Shalom. No, you. We'll figure it out when we hear it. So 178.
Make of us a house for all people. Gather us in hope for all people. Surround us in peace for all people, in wholeness and in שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. כי אתה הוא מלך הדור בכל השלום. כי אתה הוא מלך הדור בכל השלום. בכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. בשלומך. Make of us a house for all people. Gather us in hope for all people. Surround us in peace for all people, in wholeness and in love. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Veklo libi
We've reached the part of our service where we do a little work on Torah. So you could join me with a prayer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Thank you. So this week's portion is Emor, and here's the summary of it. There are laws regulating the lives and sacrifices of the priests. The set times of the Jewish calendar are named and described: the Sabbath, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and the pilgrimage festivals of Pesach, Shavuot, and Sukkot. God commands the Israelites to bring clear olive oil for lighting the sanctuary menorah. The ingredients and placement of the displayed loaves of sanctuary bread are explained, and laws dealing with profanity, murder, and the maiming of others are outlined. For several years, I've led the service that fell on Emor out of sentiment, since it was the portion of my bat mitzvah, which I shared here at Temple Shalom with Linda Fried, Seema Schachter, and Miro Gabor. This year, I am not reprising my chanting of Torah, nor am I speaking about sacrifices, ergo donations to the temple, which is what I've done in the past. I decided to look at the theme that Linda Fried spoke to during our Benot Mitzvah, which was the overwhelming focus on visible purity of the priests and the animals appropriate to sacrifice on the altar. The Torah describes who may serve as priests and who is disqualified from the priesthood. We read, "No one at all who has a defect shall be qualified. No man who is blind or lame or has a limb too short or too long." As the Torah seems to be modeling discrimination, this is troubling to most of us, excluding those with disabilities from serving as priests. However, we also read in the book of Genesis that everyone is created b'tselem Elohim, in the image of God. If we are all made in the divine image, shouldn't we all be permitted to serve? I was taught to celebrate who I am and to take pride in myself and my accomplishments. God's very specific demands seem to contradict this principle. Our people have struggled with this text for generations. Medieval commentators emphasized that the priests and the sacrificial offerings needed to be free of blemish, but anyone was welcome to bring a sacrifice to the temple. In other words, the priest and the sacrifice did not function as representatives of human values or ideals, but rather as ritual instruments. Just as we would not use a broken hammer to fix our homes, we would not use a blemished animal to repair our relationship with God. For some, this commentary makes the passage easier to swallow, but I find the implication continues to offend. All of us are differently abled, and we should be able to celebrate our unique forms. So what does perfection mean, and how do we aspire towards it? Often, we must work on ourselves before we can accept others. We're called to recognize that no one person or thing is perfect, that rather than aiming for a superficial goal, we should all instead direct our whole heart to accepting ourselves. After all, are we not all perfect in God's eyes? Is it not more important for our behavior to be closer to perfection? Inclusive behavior can have a great impact on shaping a healthy and inclusive society. To me, the way people behave towards each other, the way they demonstrate the values we most admire, is the thing most important about people. In the words of Al Shlosha Devarim, the world stands on three things: Torah, which we can interpret as ongoing study and learning; Avodah, which is usually translated as worship, but can also mean work or service. And if we work towards a better world in whatever Tikkun Olam projects appeal to us, we are helping to make a positive difference. Gemilut Chasadim, loving deeds, are helping others to the extent we are able, showing kindness and generosity. It is also important to find the beauty in our world and to be grateful for being a part of it. Throughout our lives, many of us will face tests. We will be called upon to respond to intolerance and apathy in various ways by standing up to create respectful, kind, caring communities. May we do our best to appreciate each person for their gifts and take pride in whom we are as individuals. Can you hear that song? At this time, we do a prayer for healing for those in our community who are in need of healing, whether it's spiritual, emotional, mental, physical. On the list this week, I have Brent Diamond, Cindy and Pat Kowalczyk, Stephen Goetze, Sarah Paddock, Maureen Weinstein, Becky Weber, Elliot Saunders, David O., Farida and Noble, Laura Cross, the Klippenstein family, and Kathy Kozak. Are there others for whom you would like to name either in your hearts? You could keep them to yourself, or if you want to call out their names, you can. Amen. Amen. Misha Baruch is on 371. Please turn to page 570. I am ready to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer. Our praise to you, Adonai, sovereign of all, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to count the Omer. Today is 30 days into the counting, 4 weeks and 2 days of the Omer. And I'll ask you to rise for Aleinu. Which is on, I think, 586. Mm-hmm. Page 586.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו ופסולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום וישבות לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
I'll ask you to remain standing. We turn to page 598, 599. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died in this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. Zichronom livracha, may their memories be for blessing. This week, we are in Shloshim for Jody Warrior and Marvin Silver. And we keep in mind also Mary Goetze, Stephen Goetze's mom, for whom there is a memorial service this weekend, which is why he's not here. In the congregation, we remember Alexander Jacobson, father of Faye Mount, Norman Greenberg, father of Lois Henteloff, Ted Kesselman, husband of Jane Kesselman, Gittel Führer Neubart, mother of Charles Führer, Isaiah Shore, father of Eduardo Shore, Rosa Freibrunn, child Shoah victim, Martin Kovnatz, brother of Patricia Kovnatz, and Marcel Pelletier, father of Janet Pelletier Goetze. Together on page 598, we recite the Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, ve'amad divrach chilutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'yimru, Amen. Yehi shlam Rabba min Shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael v'yimru, Amen. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לאלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום רב מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. Oh, please be seated. So I have a few announcements. Next Friday, May 8th at 7:30 p.m., our service is led by Rabbi Miriam Saitman with Janet Pelletier Goetze. This Sunday, May 3rd at 1 p.m. is Crafternoon, our twice-a-month craft gathering at the temple. You can bring whatever craft you're working on and enjoy companionship, exchange ideas, advice, and tips with other crafters, and indulge, of course, in treats with coffee or tea. And this week, for those who are wanting, we're going to do a little bit of watercolor painting, but come with whatever you want to do if that's not your interest. On May 7th, Thursday, this coming week at 1 p.m., the Temple Shalom Book Club, final meeting until the fall, we will be discussing a contemporary mystery novel, The Body in the Synagogue, by Ruth Warral, and we will be having a Zoom conversation with her about her writing, which will be actually a meeting over 4 countries with 5 or 6 cousins. It'll be pretty cool for me. To those who contributed to the ARTSA campaign to raise the $30,000 to help families affected by the ongoing attacks on Israel, a big thank you. ARTSA raised $40,000. So, kol hakavod. And Ein Kelohenu to Kiddush. Oh, look, Kiddush. Okay. I know we have a few people not yet at bar mitzvah age who might like to come up, or bat mitzvah age. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagahafen. Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam,
אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצבנו, בשבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקרא קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. אמן. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz, we give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise and song together as our joyful prayer is sung. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen.
The attack has happened.
Everybody else will get a chance to have some challah out in the hall after the service.
So I'm singing with you? Is that with
Yes, thank you, Ruth, for a lovely service.
Oh.
Thank you, of course, to Evan and Judith at the back, and everyone who helped make tonight possible. Shabbat Shalom. Ein keloheinu, ein kadonenu, ein kemalkeinu, ein kemoshienu, mi Eloheinu, mi Adonenu, mi kemalkeinu, mi kemoshienu. Nodel Eloheinu, nodel Adonenu, nodel Malkeinu, nodel Moshienu. Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu. Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu.
Thank you.
Of course, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.